production, but it's much too important not to have one. We are in the midst of greatness, as Sheriff Cross has already indicated. A man who brought back intelligence, who brought back social conscience, who brought back entertainment to the horror genre, one of the most maligned genres.
You hear me? Okay. Thank you all very much. Thanks for showing up. I mean, it's amazing. I'm always very flattered. And I don't have anything to say. Here's somebody's cell phone. All right. They're all good guys. I heard it was great. I haven't seen it. Sorry. Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Let's go ahead and line up. Line going this way at the back for folks who have questions, and you can ask at this microphone right here.
Okay, whatever. Some sort of policy.
Mr. Romero, I think it's pretty safe to say that every single person in this room would like to be a zombie in one of your movies.
We could have the dance right here.
I spoke with you briefly about this, but I was wondering if you might demystify a little bit the process of actually being in one. If you're familiar with that.
Yeah, there's I've made my last 2 films in Canada, and I'm doing this, we're starting to shoot in October, November, this other thing, and it's in Canada, and unfortunately, not unfortunately, I mean, I actually think that the Canadians got it down. I mean, I think the American unions ought to protect their people more, and the Canadians do. So it's very hard. It's only on a day when I have hired, or when not me, I don't hire them, the production hires 75 Canadian union. And it's only on that day that I can even bring my daughter. I mean, my daughter was in Land of the Dead. Is this working? Yeah. She shoots the zombie at the electrified fence, but the only day that I could do it was a day when we had hired 65 Canadian paid actors. My daughter was not paid. So, you know, it's the way it is. It's hard. I mean, up there, it's tough. Otherwise, I would invite all of you guys, and I would, you know, we'd have the whole. We wouldn't need any more zombies. We'd have them all. You know. But it's tough up there. So I don't know if it's not really a demystification. That's just the way it is. And they're right. You know, our unions ought to do the same thing. We ought to be more protective of the people that work in film. We're not. Hello.
Hi. First of all, thank you so much for being here with all of us this weekend. It's really an honor.
My pleasure.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about Diary of the Dead.
Yeah.
How you came up with the idea and how it's going.
Well, you know, actually it was before Land of the Dead. I wanted to sort of go back to the roots and go back and do something under the radar very inexpensively. And I came up with this idea, and then we got the deal for Land of the Dead. And so I went off and made that. And then I went back and I had this script sitting around for this thing called Diary of the Dead. And you know, basically we lost our copyright on Night of the Living Dead. It's a long story. Our title was Night of the Flesh Eaters, and Walter Reed, the distributor, changed the title to Night of the Living Dead. When they did that, they took off the title card on which we had the copyright notes, and they changed it. And nobody put a copyright note. So Night of the Living Dead is in public domain, basically. And, you know, and we've been fighting it in courts and then, you know, for ever since. So this is another attempt to reestablish a copyright. And sort of going back to the very first day when the dead started coming back to life with a new cast of characters, and I dig it because it's low budget and it's subjective camera. I mean, you know, the premise is that these college kids are out shooting their own little horror movie on the night when they hear the news, and they take off in their van, and basically it's all seen through that guy's camera. At least the first episode is, and I'm hoping there'll be a few more episodes. So it's, you know, sort of like Skip and Spectre did that Book of the Dead, and so this is sort of what was happening at the same time somewhere else. Basically starting over. Here I am, 66, and starting over. But, you know, I love it. I love it. There's nobody on our ass. There's no bonding companies. There's no studio, and it's just us kids going out making love to everything.